I really haven't seen a game ever that has been just as hyped as Cyberpunk 2077. It's escalated and gone past every other game that I've seen before, and it all makes sense why. I mean, you add up the interesting world that a lot of people want to go explore in, some amazing gameplay that people want to engage with, along with some really good marketing. And with that, a lot of people have set very high expectations for the game or what they want to experience in it. But I'm going to be going over, is the game basically living up to the hype, or how good it is in my opinion. I'll be talking about the world, the gameplay, the quests, along with comparing it to other titles that I think are worthy of mentioning or comparing to. I'm really only going to try and cover like the first hour or two of story content. That way it doesn't really spoil anything for anyone, as the game recently just came out as I'm recording. But my opinion on the game stands as I think it is really good. I definitely think a lot of people should play it or give it a shot. And I'm going to be sharing with you my experience and going over these reasons, showing you why. When beginning the game, you get to select a different background that influences the starting mission that your character has, along with a relationship that develops with a different NPC in the game. And on top of that, you also have a lot of different dialogue options that'll pop up relating to whatever path you choose. So we have the Corpo, who are basically the corporation people, and from that side of the game and that background. And you have the Nomads that are sort of out the Badlands, they're like the Mad Max people of the world. And then you have the Streetkids, the people that raise up in the slums, you know, sort of like growing up in the hood of Cyberpunk 2077. As a cool kid hooligan, I felt no fucking other choice was more worthy than Streetkid. That was definitely the one I was most interested in to go into. So that's the background I'll be playing as and covering in this video. Along with that, when we go forward, we get to actually create our character. The game's character customization options are done really well. It has a lot for you to do. You can change your character quite a bit. You can even do different things like change the cock size of your character and change if you want them circumcised or uncircumcised. It's fucking crazy. Like, I think this is the first game that I've seen do this in a game, which is just insane. It opens up so many more possibilities. Most of my friends have spent majority of their game time in just fucking selecting their cock size alone. They're on it for a good half hour, I swear. Like, I think people messed around with like the size of their cocks in this game more than anything else. Like, that was the main focus and most of the time spent in character creation. Moving on from that dope feature of the game, you get to go and then assign some character stats and basic attribute points that influence different stats on your character. And right as we have that all done, we get right into the game where we see our own character looking in the mirror at himself. He broke his nose because some shitbag mugger decided to go up and rob you for your fucking jewels and shit. So you have to go and replace your nose right away. After that, you're talking to the bartender where he's telling you a bit of a story about how he's in a little kerfuffle with another guy because he owes him a bunch of money. Of course, V approaches this as he needs to be the friend to step up and help the bartender, and maybe if he helps the bartender, he'll get a favor back. So leaving the bar, we go to try and talk to the big shot Kirk. Now immediately when approaching him, the whole atmosphere changes. You have this huge giant guy that's fucking staring you down, eating a burger, and he sits right with you when you go to sit down. Talking to Kirk, he gives us a proposal of stealing a car that there's only 4 of in the entire city. If we end up stealing this car and giving it to Kirk for his client, then Buddy's debt is paid and he'll also pay us some money. So, sounds fucking great. But Kirk ends up giving you a key to hack the car and get into it that he ensures you that will definitely get into it and bypass all security systems, so you're all good. After that, we leave the bar and make our way out, to which we end up finding an old man who appears to know us from before. He wants us to go and talk to him for a little bit, so we get in with him. Immediately, again, the vibe changes drastically. You go from talking to a bartender who's pretty friendly to talking to this guy Kirk and his beef guard who you think kind of intimidating. And then you go to this guy and you can tell he's fucking real business. You and the man talk about why your character returned from Atlanta, giving you more backstory on your character and why you're back in the Night City. Along with that, there's this dope-ass soundtrack that plays in the background, and this happens during a lot of the different cutscenes. Like, the OST for this game is one of the highest tiers of OSTs I've ever heard. But right away, the smooth ride is interrupted as some crazy-looking hooligans demand we pull over, to which one of the guys pulls up with a gun. Now, funny enough, this guy does look batshit next level insane because he has a lot of cyber augmentations and other stuff going on in him. But he looks eerily similar to a lot of people that sort of live around my area. You know, like in 50 years, yeah, I can see like them evolving into this guy. But in order to get this guy away, the old man just tells him that he'll let his mother live if he walks away and goes back into his car. After this, we get them to drop us off to where we end up jumping over an overpass and going over to a garage. This is the garage where we need to steal the car from and get it back to Kirk. And upon entering, you have an optional option. Oh my god, that sounds fucking dumb. You have an optional choice that you can do to go talk to another guy that's there. He's a security guard, and he's sort of in on the whole thing. So he deactivates the cameras for 20 minutes, allowing you to go steal the car. Right away, when trying to start the car, though, it's not going well. Things are not working. There's this giant brute guy that comes over and holds us at gunpoint. And on top of that, just within a few moments, the police end up arriving on the scene, like a bunch of them, so we're instantly just fucked. You can choose to shit talk the police in this game, which is very funny because right after, you see some men of like foreign descent, like they're not even from a different nationality, they're like from One Piece or Bleach. Right away, seeing them come in, it's like, nah, let the police take us. The people there tell the police to go and kill us and dump the bodies. But instead of doing that, the police drive us and this guy Jackie over to the city and then drop us off. Once you get dropped off, your new friend Jackie invites you out to get some lunch and talk it up. Even though you were held at gunpoint a few moments ago, I mean, there's not really much else to do in the town, and he's inviting you out to chat. While he does look pretty next level gnarly, the way he talks is a lot different from the other NPCs that we see in the game. So with that, our character befriends Jackie, ends up going with him to sort of move in with him and his mother for a little bit, and then they end up having a compilation of different odd jobs that they're doing around the city. Living up the criminal life in the night city, both of the two would end up having champagne showers on one day and then some bloody showers on the next. It's just normal stuff for them to make money. It's shortly after the compilation that you and Jackie are parked near an apartment building waiting to go in and do a job. Before starting it though, he offers you a little chip to put in that acts as like a simulation or a training tutorial. It's really well done though, I think. It fits the game's atmosphere and everything perfectly, along with it incorporating an actual story character and giving more insight onto that character and their personality. I thought it was really cool, you know, it using character T-Bug. She's kind of like that fucking wheelchair turtle from Sly Cooper. What the fuck's this guy's name? Okay, she's kind of like Bentley the Brains from Sly Cooper, not the fucking wheelchair turtle. As you enter the apartment building, you and Jackie draw your weapons out and start going through it. It really sets the setting because you can hear a lot of different things going on in these different apartment buildings. Along with this, a woman steps out to see if it's someone that she's expecting, to which you can wave her to go back inside as there's about to be a shootout, sort of warning her so she doesn't get caught in a crossfire. This is a small touch, but it's really subtle and really well done. It took no time or effort for me to do this in the game, but put that little thing in my mind that I did. But other than that, it really made me feel like I was entering a part of other people's homes in this apartment building and not just some random shootout location. Once going in, I can see that the apartment building is just fucked. There's fucking dead corpses everywhere. There's like gang members hanging out. It's a fucking mess. So in order to deal with the gang members, there are a few different ways that you can actually approach it. You can just go in guns blazing trying to kill everyone, or you can take a stealth approach and try and take out a few before you have to fight them all as well. You implement different things in the game like hacking, which allows you to select different objects in a room like fans or heaters and make them malfunction or do different things. Even targeting another person and then making them malfunction so they're kind of disabled for a minute or two. The different ways that you can approach each battle to your liking and how you want to is fucking great, and I love it. So after some smooth ass gameplay, we get to go through this bandit location and we slowly see that it is more fucked up than we might have thought. It seems to be that they were literally dissecting people either for their fucking limbs or cybernetics. On top of that, we go into the bathroom to where we need to find the person that we need to save, and she's in there with another guy that's dead, both completely naked and then in ice water. I can't really show the exact scene. I don't want YouTube to fucking cock slap me in my channel, but with the pretty nice graphics, the amazing setting, and just the whole build up to that, and the music and everything going on, it makes the moment more than just a jaw-dropping moment. It's something that you can actually feel that's fucked up. This made me feel more than immersed in the game. It's like the entire time I was playing this quest, I was doing it there. The game for me offers a great example of how to set up your world to be both interesting and unique by just discovering different things in it one by one. Yeah, the beginning missions I would say are pretty linear, but after you get to a certain part in the game, it begins to open up so that you can do a lot more. Aside from that, you'll be going around in the city too, traveling to different missions or traveling to different places, and in these places or on the streets, you hear lots of different conversations from the NPCs about different things from work to problems with pimps. The world's personality and charm just made it so that every building that I went into, I wanted to talk to as many people that I could, or I wanted to find out more about the location and sort of the area in general. As you learn more and more about the city, the world of the characters, it all influences the different kind of choices that you'll want to make in a game and the different type of scenarios that you'll put yourself into. Alright, I was basically glued to my computer playing this game for like 7 hours, all the way up until like 6 a.m. until I started writing the script. If I had to rate the game so far just on immersion, I'd give it a strong 9, maybe 9.5. It's definitely one of the best experiences I've felt in a game so far. And while I do have a few complaints maybe about the gameplay and story and other things, those complaints and problems that I have are very minuscule at the moment compared to all the new things in the game that I'm learning and figuring out. So while I'm still waiting to finish the game and do a lot of extra content to truly form a total opinion on the entire game, so far from what I got, I believe it's going to be a great experience that I'm not going to regret. And I'm really glad to say that Cyberpunk does not seem like it's the new Skyrim or it's the new GTA. It's up there with those games in its own category, and if anything, it's maybe past those games by a lot. So in my opinion, with the game, the stories, quests, and everything that it's been offering me so far, it definitely has me interested enough to want to go through this game, get myself to a powerful and wealthy spot in the game. While it's definitely not a perfect game and there are some issues with it, maybe it didn't live up to all the hype that some people think, I think the game has done a very good job in general at everything. It's going to change really how I play games in general. I mean, just try playing Cyberpunk and then going to something like Fallout 3 or 4 now. It's going to look fucking prehistoric. This game does what other games that I really like weren't able to do, and it's actually pull me into the world completely and make me feel fucking more than immersed. So if you want my rating, I give the game probably an 8, maybe a 9 once I'm done and finish the entire game and look at it. So far, there's just been very few things that have really made me dislike the game. There's been a lot more moments where I've been super pumped about the game though too. But if you're still on the fence about getting the game, I'd say that yeah, it is worth a full retail price. Maybe even just wait till it goes on discount, and then you're getting an even better deal in my opinion. Anyways though, I hope you guys liked this talk about Cyberpunk 2077. If you want to see more videos, make sure you support the channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting. Feel free to let me know about what you guys think about the game, if you've picked it up or if you're setting it aside for later. So far, I think it's really good, and after I'm done this video, I'm going right back onto the game. So with that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.